Join us for the BMW X5M. Let's go. The X5M in this generation here also features the bigger double kidney in the front, black frame, and also those black vertical fins in there, and they're always open, whereas the base X5 has those adaptive air intakes in the double kidney, but here you maybe need a little bit more cooling. Also the side profile, just beautiful in this color. We have here also the wheel arches painted in the vehicle color. In the M model, usually it would start with a plastic fender. In the base model here, exclusive 21-inch wheels, pretty massive, bigger brakes, also those performance M brakes with the blue brake calipers. They fit to that one very well. Then we got contrasting black mirrors at the side in an aerodynamic shape. And of course the X5, difference to the X6, which is also available as the M model. Check out that video as well. It would be have the falling roofline here at the rear. The new X5 generation has those horizontal tail lamps, looks more modern, and also in a three-dimensional shape. That's pretty cool. And this one is also the competition model. A little bit more horsepower, and also has the lettering right there. And some more extra equipment, or some more standard equipment, so to say, if you compare it to the just X5 model, X5M model. Then here, those diffuser elements, and next to the real exhaust, this is no fake at all, so pretty massive special M exhaust. And suspension wise, there will be the adaptive M suspension, so there's no air suspension then in this case, but it will still be a good compromise between sportiness and comfort. I hope we will test it also in our test driving very soon. Usually in a normal base model you can also go without an air suspension, that's no problem. And this one here also, the M models get an active differential also for the rear axle to get more power on the ground. Of course all-wheel drive for all those models, and they do have the typical BMW rear wheel bias from those platforms that are still rear wheel driven, or then have this typical rear wheel biased all-wheel drive. Under the hood we have a 4.4 liter V8 turbocharged petrol engine, either with 600 horsepower or in the X5M Competition model with 625 horsepower. And the acceleration difference is just 3.9 or 3.8 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. Pretty powerful for this kind of heavy car, definitely. And we already drove the V8 engine both with the X6 and the X5 in the current generation, so check out those reviews. We will link a few interesting reviews of the X5 and the X6 in the video description and also in the pinned comment. And the interesting thing here is you can configure those buttons here, M1 and M2, and have your own settings on there, whatever you want to change with your driving mode. And then there are special sport seats, and I like this color styling where you have the blue on the exterior and the beige, or this indicate this almost white on the interior. However, this one here in the M model, only animal skin with those sport seats. A normal BMW X5 can also be bought with sensor tech, that's animal friendly, leatherette. Also in different colors, usually in black and beige, so that would be my tip for usual X5. And sitting in there is a little bit more comfortable than with the X6, not because the seat would be much different, but rather because the A-pillar is a little bit more upright and you have a little bit more space in here, a little bit more spacious feeling, so to say. That makes it a little bit more open, a little bit more, cozy, definitely in the X5 to me. It's just, that you have this feeling. The seat can be controlled in the various electric ways, also just the top part of the seat, for example, and it's a really good, comfortable seating position. So also on long journeys, you're feeling fine. I'm really looking forward to test this one here in person. Now to the interior overview, where again we have this cover. Actually, I mean, it looks quite nice, but it feels a little bit cheap. I don't know. But the LED ambient lighting, that's pretty cool, especially here in the blue color, also in the lower end. Here again with the X5M badging. Also, the blue car is being shown in the, in the widescreen format. This is, by the way, a standard setup. They don't offer anything else for this car. Sadly, animal skin cover for that. Usually you can also get a Sensor Tech cover. That would be a little bit more sustainable for the top dashboard. Still some menu controls here, for example, for the temperature, like that, and also for the volume control with the metal knurling around. Then you've seen the steering wheel already in compact size with the special mode buttons right there. Also shifting pedals are available, heated steering wheel. In the lower part you got the special shifting lever, also with the transmission controls and the red start-stop engine button. And this lower part, by the way, you can slide open for inductive charging pad, Apple CarPlay wireless connection, and also some USB-A recharging and heated and cooled front cup holders. So, and then in this M menu, a special one, you can configure actually everything right here. And there you can see this one does not have a two-wheel drive function, not a rear-wheel drive function like with the M5 or M8, but that's totally fine for an SUV, But 4WD Sport means it has, different emphasis. Here it's more even, and here less on the front wheels, but more bias on the rear wheels. So you can set that, for example, then to your special button. And of course, all the other commands you have in here. I really like it when in the instruments you'll get the actual color of your exterior car. Well, maybe not 1-to-1, but at least it's blue, And RPMs can go up counterclockwise, but there's also special M mode in the instruments available, where we have then those special gauges as well, and they look a little bit different, a little bit sportier if you have the engine really lit on. So let's get inside, and it's really good to see in this bright interior. We had the X6M as well, so you can tune into that review. We have the darker interior, but here you can very well see what's going on. The package is not really good with this vehicle, so you don't have too much legroom, although it's not a short car. Also, those sport seats are more voluminous. So let's open the trunk, and typical X5 split way right here. Here we go. So you can use this then, for a short picnic or so on, and it also really works when two people are sitting on that one here. And now to our conclusion, BMW X5M for today. Wow, I mean, this is really one of my favorite colors ever for a vehicle overall. So very beautiful, and all this color combination, the blue on the exterior and the white on the interior, that's just marvelous. Here the M model, of course, a stronger styling, stronger sense on the road, but already the normal X5 looks quite strong nowadays with this new generation. You have a little bit more room inside also in this new generation if you compare it to the predecessor X5M, and also more power under the hood, especially in the competition model. Of course, you don't need that power. If you want to go with a normal V8 in the M50i, for example, that will also do just fine. We also have some reviews of that, for example, from X5 or the X6. You can tune into that. And that one, the M50i, was already very, very powerful, and also so much power still on the rear wheels. You really feel the rear wheel bias with this vehicle, and you will even more feel it in the true M model. And you will really have to be careful. Maybe leave those ESC systems on with this car first, at least when you're on the road. And yeah, this won't be moved on the racetrack. I think no one really does that, although it's theoretically also capable of with everything that has been upgraded. They even say that the air intakes are, then thermal-wise, racetrack-proof. Yeah, very interesting. Interior has a high build quality, sadly no animal skin alternative. You have to go over the BMW individual program if you say, you want also a little bit more animal friendliness in the interior. And it's really interesting, especially on the motor show and when I'm, traveling here in Los Angeles and California. So many people approach me and tell me, I'm also a car enthusiast, but I also love animals. So I really think this approach is really cool that you raised this this topic. So it's really good that I also get the very positive feedback of that. That really means a lot. Really cool. So other than that, this X5 is very usable also in the trunk space. That's also an advantage if you compare it to the X5, with the limited height and so on. If you think about X6M or X5M, I would always go with the X5 in general. I really also like the recent X5 PHEV model. Tune into that review if you're interested, maybe just looking that one here for some beauty shots and for like, oh, that's cool. But really buy an X5 and you rather go with the normal, 40i, for example, also then with the PF. Tune into those reviews. We all have, we almost have the whole model range of those cars available. Just use the YouTube search, for example. Always type in Autogefühl BMW X5, then you'll find everything. And we will always link interesting videos in the video description or also in the pinned comments. Now please also tune into our comment section and discuss this vehicle here with us. Which one would you actually go for, X5 or the X6? Tune into that review as well. And what do you think about the approach in making such a powerful SUV here? Definitely can keep up with all the competitors now, as for the power figures and also, of course, with everything else. Thank you so much that you tuned into this party and also tune in to more videos from the Los Angeles Motor Show.